So you han you kay satine gonal cheese hati ade gonal cheese at ID saage. How's it going, everybody? It's good to see you. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for listening to me. And let's jump right in. All right, we are on week 2, day 1. This claim you do a sak ya this jin kat kaklek ya giish ya wakif ya this. This is the month of October. 11 days have passed this month. Week 2, day 1. Welcome back. Just a few announcements. Shiksani Keek is traveling this week. So I have you all to myself today and Thursday. And then next week, we're gonna take a break. It's Native New Year, it's Elders and Youth, AFN. So next week, we will not have class. Shiksani Keek and I decided we want folks to be able to attend AFN. I know for me personally, it's a big reunion with a lot of family. Folks should be able to go check out the workshops, meet up with family, go to lunch without having to worry about calling into Zoom. So this week, it'll just be me with you guys. And then next week, we'll take a week-long break. Other than that, Shiksani Keek and I agreed that we need to make space in the beginning of class for folks to have questions. So we'll do some Q&A today at the beginning of class. After that, we'll review some of our pronunciation that we practiced last week. And then we're gonna work on native names. So we'll try our hand at breakout rooms today, groups of up to 10. This will be a safe space for folks to practice pronouncing their native names if they have one, talking about where we're at. If we don't have one, looking up native names or pet names using the dictionary, and I'll walk folks through that, and then we'll come back and play a game. So before we get started, do folks have questions? If so, please feel free to use the raise your hand function. That way you'll pop up to the top of my screen, and then I can call on you. You can unmute, and just let us know if you guys have questions. Or if you don't want to raise your hand, you can also type it in the chat. Okay, looking like, oh, such click.
Dunastish, yeah. Wondered if you had a way to describe our school name or our pet name.
Yeah, good question, good cheese. So what I think you're asking is like how to describe what it is and what function it serves. Okay, yeah, so a pet name is just a name for you to use in class. We'll go over it in more detail, but when I started learning Lingit in 2017, I did not know my Khoikhon name. So I didn't have a native name, but I wanted to have a name to go by in class so that when we're speaking Lingit, we can continue to make the sounds of the language and address each other without kind of reverting back to English sounds. So instead of saying, Anna Yuchatuasauk, I went by Kunanashawu, which is a pet name my teacher gave me. He knew I was Athabascan, so he gave me a name that meant Athabascan woman. And so, it can be anything. It's, it's a safe space. It's just something for folks to go by that don't have a native name. One time a friend asked, how do you say porcupine? Because she likes porcupines. And the teacher told her, she looked at him and went, okay, how do you say polar bear? Because it was hard to say. So they can be fun, have fun with it. It's just a name for you to use in class, and we're all in different points in our journeys, reclaiming our native heritage. So it's all good. Goodness cheese. Any more questions? All right, so we're gonna go into some review of our pronunciation from last week. I understand we went overtime a little bit last week. So for folks that had to go and weren't able to check out the video, we'll review some of the pronunciation today. So the first one is the pinch. And I highlighted it in red on the screen. It looks like an apostrophe, but in Tlingit language spaces, we call that a pinch. And what it does is pinch the consonant. So you see a K here, just a regular K without a pinch would sound like K. So this word without the pinch would sound like yake. But with the pinch, the K turns to K. So it sounds more like yake. So go ahead and unmute your mics if you feel comfortable and repeat after me. Yake.
Okay.
One more time. Yake. Sounds good. Next one are underline letters. So these are pronounced in the back of your throat. And I can actually see when I practice in the mirror, I can see it in my throat. So just a regular KA that's not underlined, pronounced up here in your mouth, it sounds like ka. And then an underlined K, I'm going to make that sound right around here and you'll see my throat move. Ka. So I'll show you the difference. Ka. 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 Go ahead and repeat after me. And Triksani, Keith mentioned last week, and I really like this advice. You can practice when you hear a raven make a sound like they're doing it down here. And so that's kind of the area in your neck where you'll be making these underlined sounds. So next word, repeat after me. Juan. I can hear you guys making this sound down here. So the next one is Angun Juan. Okay. Next up is the glottal stop. This you'll hear at the beginning of a vowel. And so anytime you say uh-oh, you're doing a glottal stop. Because without the glottal stop, it would sound like oh. Without the glottal stop, uh-oh would sound like oh. So you're stopping the air in your throat. So repeat after me.
Downloaded on computer. Can't download it?
Tina, Clau, you have a question?
You're muted.
Can't hear you.
I have a guest here that wanted to say hello real quick.
Buenas noches.
Ini
وأكثر يكأخستيني
jadi karena
كيخواسا تخواسا يكأخستيني
ik ade kuat itu ya.
مفيش مفيش خط دشي
Ya.
All right, next sound we practiced last week for review are rounded consonants. So to make rounded consonants, you round your lips like you're making the sound of a W. So everybody say wah. And so pay attention to the shape. Yep. Pay attention to the shape that your lips make. You're going to keep it in that shape and say the consonant. So a KW, I'm going to round my lips and say the K, and it will sound like this. Yeah, sound good. So repeat after me. You had to a sock.
You had to a sock. You had to a sock. We have a question, Mike.
Yeah. So do you do the rounded consonant anytime there's a W, or only when it's like at the end of a word, or how does that work?
You'll recognize a rounded consonant because it'll be like a KW.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Another question, Trisha.
Hi there. I was just wondering if you could also let us know like what it is in English. So you do a sock. What does that mean?
Oh yeah. So if I say Nila Tova Yuchat do a sock, what I'm saying is I'm called Nila Toga. My name is Nila Toga.
And sorry, and what else? And what about yake?
Oh yeah. Yuke means it is good.
Ganeshish.
Let's see, another question, Lutzi.
Ganesh, can you hear me? So for the rounded consonant like KW, the first person's question, like Kwan, is that a rounded consonant or is that not?
Oh yeah, it is because you're still making the same shape and sound. Only the difference here is that it's followed by a vowel. So it's followed by double A. So your mouth would still make the same shape and sound, only this one is underlined and it's followed by a vowel. So Kwan. Whereas if you see a word like if I want to say I will try, it's still rounded and it's still underlined, but it comes at the end of the word and it's not followed by a vowel. But the important thing is that I'm still making that shape with my lips. I'm still pronouncing the rounded sound.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's see, am I missing any questions in the chat? Okay. I also see a question, what does wa'eh mean? And wa'eh, if I say gusu wa'eh, where are you? Or Well, it's a Q. So it's a way to refer to you. Okay. Take a sip of water. We're going to practice the voiceless L. This is a sound we'll continue to work on. Voiceless L. You're going to just make the shape in your mouth like you're saying an English L, and pay attention where your tongue meets your teeth. L. Now, instead of breathing it out, instead of pronouncing it with your voice, you're just going to breathe it out. So repeat after me. Good. So if I want to say thank you, I'll say goodness. Cheese. Okay. Okay. Alicia, you have a question?
Yeah, thanks. I was wondering when you do the voiceless L noise, how sort of like wide your mouth shape should be, like, or like pretty, you know, with like almost a full smile, if that makes sense. It makes sort of a different sound, I've noticed.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'll have to pay more attention as we go. And another thing I do as I'm learning sounds to try to close the gap between, you know, how did I start learning and how do these elders say it from different areas. I'll watch video recordings and pay attention to their mouths. So I'll keep an eye out for that and continue to work on it with you. But I think when I'm, you know, I'm a learner, I'm an adult learner who started learning Lingit 5 years ago, having known nothing. So I'll pay attention to it. Yeah, I'll pay attention to that. But I just tend to say, you know, good enough. Cheese. I don't think I really widen my mouth or anything like that.
Thank you.
Cheese.
Okay, last review practice for today is this phrase. It means who is it? And we're going to use it today at the end of class. And so I highlighted in red the vowels that have tone markers on them. Those are vowels that we're going to make a little higher. So the first sound is a low tone double A, and that's pronounced ah.
Ah.
The next vowel is a double O, but it's high tone. So it'll sound like ooh,
Ooh.
ooh,
Ooh. Do.
The next vowel we see is just a single A. We call it a short A, and it's high tone. So it sounds like ah.
And
then the last vowel is also short, and it's also high tone. So it sounds like eh. So the whole phrase is adu sawa.
Do so way.
Good. All right. So let's see how many of us are in here today. We have Um, wait for it. Actually, how many do we have in here today?
We have about 57.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna go into breakout rooms. Before we start, I have a few things to share. Before we break, I'm gonna post this link in the chat and I want everybody to open it up, and it's gonna be the free online dictionary. So before we break out, let me see. One sec. Okay, here we go. I just pasted a link in the chat to everyone. It says language.com/dictionary. So if everyone could please go ahead and click that link, open it up. And should look like this. So this is the free online dictionary. And for folks that are looking up words for your pet names, one option you can go in this resource is to open up your search bar. So if you're on an Apple like me, you're gonna hold down Command and push F. And you can see it opened up a search bar in the corner of my screen. If you're on a PC, you'll hit Control F and it'll open up the same thing. And so for example, if I want my name to be Porcupine. Wait. Oh, sorry. I can put it in and it will show up. You can see in my search, there's 6 options. So the word porcupine appears in English 6 times. And I can just hit return and kind of scroll through them to see if I find the right one. I see a meaning here for quills. I see the word for porcupine, kachakach. I love this dictionary. I'm already a dictionary person. And so for me to see how it sort of, the words break down is really fun for me. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to show you how to navigate this resource, and I'll be roaming rooms to help you. So a couple of other announcements. So we'll be in groups of up to 10. It'll be somewhat small and safe space for you to practice writing your name. We are all in different points of our journeys of reclaiming our cultural heritage. And so I just wanted to emphasize that wherever we're at today is okay. Be kind to yourselves. I know sometimes the conversation around Native names can be sensitive, whether you're still learning your Native name or your clan or your mother's clan. So anyway, wherever we're at is okay. We're here to support each other and just uplift each other in our long-term goal of returning to who we are as Native people. So I'll be roaming through the rooms to help you if needed. We'll spend about 15 minutes there. And if you know your Native name, you can practice writing it, pronouncing it, share it with folks. If you don't have a name, you can look up your pet names. And yeah, so if you finish in the 15 minutes early, you can practice in writing and saying vowels using the Beginning Lingit workbook by Khune. So I'll share this in the chat as well. You don't need to rush through this at all. It's just an extra activity. So that being said, do we have any questions before we break? Good. Okay, let's get started. Kachkun. All right, welcome back to the big room. How did that go?
Okay.
Thumbs up, see some smiles, awesome. I had a chance to pop into a few of the rooms and I just love seeing people help each other out and support each other. So I was able to start tracking names and I'm keeping a spreadsheet of people's native names. And at the end of class, we'll continue to work on this week. So it's feel good that we're getting to know each other in our native names and our native language space. So good cheese. So let's see. Okay. Oh, I see a hand up. Ke dekayu. Wait, let me try. Ka dekayu deka.
Okay, yeah, Kade Kayo de Hawk. I was just wondering, you mentioned a dictionary, but is that a link I can just pull, or is that in Tavuti, or is it right, or can I pull it right off the screen you have there?
Oh yeah, let me put it in the chat. And then I did also put it into Woody for today's class. It's week 2, day 1. On the right-hand side of Tawudi's screen, there's like class links. And so I put one there for the dictionary, but let me just add it right now since we're talking about it. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, I was just curious because I don't have access to Tavuti yet.
Oh yeah, let me put it in the chat.
Thank you.
Yeah. Here we go. Okay, I just put the link in the chat to the dictionary. Okay, so now we're gonna play a game and I won't call on folks for this. It's all volunteer based, but the way it'll go down is we're gonna kind of play knock knock. And so if you wanna play, you can say kuch kuch, like you're knocking on the door, kuch kuch. And then I'll say adu sawa. And then you can just answer your name. So it'll be popcorn style. We won't worry about raising hands or anything like that. I won't call on you individually, but if you feel like playing, just say kuch kuch. Sound good? Okay, let's play.
Cook.
Adu sawa.
Shak shake aya.
Okay. Oh yeah. And this word aya just means like this is. So if I say nila toga aya, this is nila toga. So you'll say your native name and then aya.
Kuch.
Adu sawa.
Skinya tla aya.
Gunafchi, Schnechka. Come in.
Kuch.
Adu sawa.
Kushit aya.
Okay. Kushkit. Oh, I forgot. After the person says their name, we'll all repeat it. Okay. So let's do that last one again.
Kushit aya.
Kushit. Aya.
Kushkit.
Kushkit.
And then say it 2 more times. Kushkit. Just say kushkit.
Kushit.
Away.
Okay. One more time.
Kushit.
Kushkit.
Good enough. Cheese. I like to repeat things 3 times. It helps me remember names. So that's what we'll do. So kuch kuch, adu sawa, and then you say your native name, aya, and then let us all repeat your name. And then after we've repeated it, repeat it again, and then a third time. So let's mix it up. Whoever went last, now you are going to say adu sawe. So whoever says kuch kuch kushki, now you will ask adu sawe. Scoop.
Kuch kuch.
Do so it.
Nutsi aya.
Nutsi.
Aya. Nunzi.
Nutsi aya.
Nutsi aya.
Nutsi.
Nutsi aya.
Nutsi.
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 Nunzi.
Nutsi.
Is it
Nutsi aya.
Hayash? Hayash at the end?
Hayash is my second name.
Nunzi Hayash.
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 Okay, who's next?
I can go next.
Okay,
Yutua Aya.
Yutua.
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 Okay, good enough cheese. Now somebody will go kuch kuch, and Nutsi will ask adu sawa.
Kuch kuch.
Do soe.
Cockling claw aya. Arcane claw.
Klein Ka.
Okay.
Plain claw.
Claw.
Claw plain tar. Claw. Claw plain claw.
Right. Okay, whoever's next, kuch kuch and Kathleen Kla will answer adu sawa.
Kuch kuch.
Dusua.
Kanigweg aya.
Cockway.
Kanigweg.
Kanigweg.
Conniquig.
Kanigweg.
Quake. Wake.
Okay, let's do one more.
Kuch kuch.
Adu sawe.
Jiach ach jaya.
Jaxa.
Ash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ach.
Jiach ach jaya.
Yeah.
Diacha.
Yeah.
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 Jiach ach.
Yeah.
Good enough, cheese, Johan. This is a challenging game to play with a large group, but we are doing it. So this is just the beginning of us getting to know each other and our native names, and we'll continue this process together. And just wanted to say good enough, cheese, for putting yourselves out there, giving it a try. And before we break, let's go over our homework. So for homework this week, we will continue to work with native names. So again, if you have a native name, whether it's Tlingit or Athabaskan or Yuktun, you can continue practicing to write it and say it. We will continue using and sharing our native names in the next few classes. And so wherever you're at is good. Just if your name is written down in your mom's notepad somewhere, you know, this is your invitation to start checking it out if you haven't already. Also, if you're unsure of your name or clan and you'd like help or advice, Shuksani Keek and I talked about it, and we would like it if you want advice, if you could email Shirley or Shuksani Keek her email. I'll put her email address in the chat, and then you can also add me in case there's some way that I can support you and Shuksani Keek as you have questions about your clan or clan names. We're here to support you. So I'll put those in the chat. And like I said, if you're non-native, I love seeing folks already looking up in the dictionary, looking up words and trying them out. So this is fun. So let me put our emails in the chat. You can also message us on Tavuti if you have access to Tavuti. So there's Shirley's email. There's mine. And you can just put us both in the same email so that we can support you in the way that you need. And that's it. Any questions before we go? Goodness cheese, Yuhan. Have a good rest of your day. Goodness cheese.
Cheese.
Goodness,
Cheese.
Ganesh, cheese, Nilika.
Goodness cheese for joining us for class today, everybody. And we'll see you on next Thursday, the 13th, and that will be our last class before we have a week-long break for AFN, and then we'll rejoin the following week after. So we'll see you all and hope you all have a great rest of your day. Goodness cheese.